What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Gail Kim was at NXT Battleground, a WWE planning a TNA NXT crossover, a giant new Bloodline member WWE bound, WWE Superstars Upset, Cody Rhodes headed to NXT, a former WWE star showed up at last night's NXT Battleground, WWE believe a star is headed to AEW, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Battleground Was Wild. Atop of today's news is a fallout from NXT's Battleground PLE, which featured an interpromotional battle between TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne and NXT Women's champion Roxanne Perez, several of the title matches and some prize appearances. First, let's start off with the title changes, as NXT crowned its inaugural Women's North American champion as Kalani Jordynne defeated Lash legend Fallon Henley, Mishin, Jada Parker and Sol Ruka in a ladder match. While the NXT Championship, NXT Women's Championship, NXT North American Championship and Tag Team Championships were defended, the champions retained. Next up, Gail Kim was at NXT Battleground. Battleground also featured some major matches and surprise appearances from former WWE stars. NXT superstar Tatum Paxley made a surprise appearance during NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez's title defense against TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace, and she managed to steal the Knockouts title belt. However, former WWE superstar Dana Brooke, now working in TNA as Ash by Elegance, showed up and grabbed the title, leading to Grace exiting the ring and clocking both women with the belt. Brooke wasn't the only former WWE superstar who showed up, as a fan spotted former WWE superstar and TNA Hall of Famer Gail Kim during the show. Kim has criticized the WWE, Vince McMahon in particular, for how they book their female superstars, so it was a good surprise to see her here. Could this be the start of a reconciliation between Kim and WWE now that McMahon is gone and Triple H is now booking creative? PW Insider is also reporting that TNA President Anthony Sisoni and executive producer Ariel Schneer were backstage, but in one capacity remains unknown. PW Insider also noted that Jordynne Grace's husband Jonathan Gresham was spotted backstage. Next up, WWE planning an NXT TNA crossover. It looks like WWE may have set up the next crossover between TNA and the NXT brand, at least if some recent social media comments turned into an angle. The faction Gallus attacked Wes Lee backstage at Battleground, leading to responses from Lee's former Rascal faction mates Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. Wentz replied to a WWE tweet showing Gallus beating down Wes. "We're only one call away," while Miguel tweeted WTF. The current belief is that Jordynne Grace vs Roxanne Perez is only the start of the crossovers between the two companies, so these social media comments may be a tease of future plans. Next up, is Roxanne Perez headed to TNA Wrestling? It appears that Perez is ready to challenge TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace for the belt. Perez recently spoke with Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso, saying, "I've wanted to cross paths with Jordynne Grace since I was on the Independents. I'd love to wrestle her in TNA. This means everything to me, and it's everything for me too. This is my life. I'm ready for her." The 22-year-old NXT Women's Champion retained against Grace in a hard-fought match that saw the Knockouts Champion distracted by a fracas between Ash by Elegance and Tatum Paxley. If Perez challenges Grace in TNA, will she be able to ride the momentum from a successful title defense into a title win? Fans have long come to expect interpromotional championship matches to end in draws, so Perez's win could be the start of a new policy. The only question is whether the WWE is willing to let a TNA wrestler capture the NXT Championship. Next up, CM Punk called a hypocrite. Roxanne Perez is definitely enjoying the thrill of victory as she went off on a post-match rant backstage, telling, "Are you surprised? Tell me right now, are you surprised? Of course you are, aren't you? Because everyone was surprised, but why? I'm the prodigy, there's no one like me." As CM Punk showed up and tried to put things into perspective for Perez, telling her, "Hold up, just calm down 1 second. I'm sorry to bust in here. Listen, you're the champion for a reason. You're head and shoulders above these women here. You're head and shoulders above all the TNA knockouts. But tonight you got lucky. I need you to focus on this. I need you to be who you are. I need you to be the prodigy. You don't need anything else." Perez was less than impressed, remarking, "Thanks for the advice. What a hypocrite, huh?" What do you think of Punk's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE Superstars Upset. Last night was a big test for Endeavor's plans to collaborate more between the UFC and WWE, as seen by NXT Battleground being held at UFC's Apex Arena. While the show went off without any apparent problems, WrestleVotes is reporting there were some grumblings about the arena. While thankfully nothing came of it, I'm told a handful of superstars were unhappy with the floor spacing around the ring last night at UFC Apex for Battleground. It was noticeably tighter than at a standard WWE NXT event. Interestingly, this isn't the first time someone has complained about the Apex Arena. Some fans and fighters argue that the smaller cage at the Apex Arena makes for a different fighting environment than UFC combatants are used to. It'll be interesting to see if any changes are made to accommodate NXT superstars unhappy with the layout, or will it be something they'll just have to get used to. Next up, Jordynne Grace had a gruesome injury. And bad news for Jordynne Grace is that TNA Knockouts champion not only lost to Roxanne Perez at Battleground, but she suffered a nasty injury during the match. Inside the Ropes recently commented on what happened to Jordynne, saying, "During the intense match, Grace sustained an injury where one of her earrings was forcefully ripped out of her ear." Grace tweeted a picture of the damage along with this comment, "Very sad to announce that after many years of unproblematic, diligent work, my ear piercings will now retire from in-ring action." Now, this isn't the first time wrestlers have had piercings ripped off from their bodies. You may recall when Triple H battled Batista at WrestleMania 35, the cerebral assassin yanked the animal's nose ring right out with a pair of pliers. Next up, a giant new Bloodline member WWE bound. A new report from BodySlam.net is hinting that New Japan Pro Wrestling sensation Hikuleo could be WWE bound. In an exclusive report, Cassidy Haynes noted that Hikuleo competed in his last date with New Japan, and that after speaking to sources within the company, it's also believed that he's headed to WWE to presumably join his family in the current Bloodline story. It's not known how soon we can expect to see Hikuleo appear on WWE television, yet we still yet to see the official debut of Jacob Fatu, which is also expected to be part of the Bloodline storyline. Hayes noted that he's one of WWE legend Haku's son, and he's the younger brother of Tama Tonga, who's currently made life miserable for anyone who crossed paths with the Bloodline. If he joins the Bloodline, one has to ask whether his sons want to take orders from Solo Sikoa or go into business for themselves. This could add a major twist to the Bloodline story, especially with fans wondering when Solo's brother Jacob Fatu will arrive in WWE. What do you guys think of this possible addition to the Bloodline? And do you think Solo could find himself kicked out of the Bloodline? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Cody Rhodes headed to NXT. Could fans on the NXT brand see undisputed champion Cody Rhodes on NXT? The American Nightmare recently teased an appearance tweeting, "Watch NXT Battleground, curious to find my old friend Ethan Page will do against Trick Williams. Actually think of dashing down to Florida this week with a gift and see some old friends." While NXT is still a developmental brand, the WWE's increased use of main roster superstars has conditioned fans to expect the unexpected. Not only has this led to better ratings for NXT, but it's given underutilized main roster superstars a chance to shine. Although Rhodes is anything but underutilized, an appearance could boost NXT's ratings. So do you think Cody Rhodes will show up? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE believe star is headed to AEW. Now, if Ricochet is leaving the WWE, the promotion is already preparing to send him on his way. In case you missed our previous news video, Ricochet recently gave his notice to WWE, and it's believed that he's leaving over after 6 years in the promotion. Now, Dave Meltzer is reporting that WWE is getting ready to write the former US and Intercontinental Champion off TV. He's leaving most likely. It's not like official Sunday morning. It was up in the air, not signed the contract. WWE had been kind of guessworking with the idea he was leaving. They did have ideas for him in case he stayed. They may write him out on TV this week, but I was told Sunday afternoon that he did in fact make his decision. But what his decision is, that I don't know. But I think most people have him leaving. I think that's the safest bet of the two. I can't say 100%. However, Fightful recently reported that Ricochet's WWE deal was winding down and there was heavy interest outside companies globally. On June 8th, PW Insider reported that Ricochet gave his notice to the company, and while we can't specifically confirm that, we're told within WWE that there is a high likelihood that Ricochet leaves the company and they expect him to land in AEW. They also told of the plans to write him off. We're told that among these include a creative plan pitched for Raw that would see Braun Breaker take Ricochet out. As with all creative plans, they can and often are changed, particularly when reported about. Ricochet has been featured more during Triple H's running creative than during Vince McMahon's. Nonetheless, Ricochet may feel he can do better in another promotion. With talk of New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW being interested in him, he may decide to see how things are on the other side of the fence. Given the incredible number of superstars who have gone to AEW only to disappear into the background, Ricochet may want to consider New Japan if he leaves WWE. And finally, Vic Joseph's slip of the lip. Last but not least, fans watching Battleground got to see a former superstar show up. Unfortunately, announcer Vic Joseph identified her by a former WWE name rather than current TNA wrestling name. This made for a funny moment for fans as it reminded them that you never know what you'll hear during a live broadcast. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.